Hello. Okay, I got started with some lettered beads. I got some messages here, so let's start. All right, I'll read off the letters that I received. So Q, V, X, U, Z or Z, M, E, U. Okay, so some of the things I got was the number 8, making me think of the infinity symbol. Now that makes me think of, well, I wrote down the strength card, but that also makes me think of the magician, because the magician also has an infinity symbol hovering above his crown. It also made me think of figure 8, so maybe someone is a figure skater, used to be a figure skater, loves skating. Okay, an emphasis on the upper chakras, such as the heart, throat, third eye, and crown. Emotional intelligence, making me think of the Queen and King of Cups. Quebec, someone may be in Quebec, that may be relevant for someone. The word Q, Q-U-E-U-E, which is a British English term referring to waiting in line. So instead of saying, waiting in line, I guess the common British way of saying it is standing in the queue or something like that. Okay, so that made me think of the energy of waiting, or quote, waiting your turn. The Four of Cups in the Tarot, the Hanged Man. The archaic meaning, however, of Q is a braid of hair worn at the back. And a braid, it made me think, well, braids kind of look like a chain of infinity symbols. Also, this Q imagery, this waiting in line imagery, made me think of the biblical verse about the last being first, the first being last, or something like that. That's from Matthew chapter 20, verse 16. So the last will be first and the first will be last. And again, just this phrase alone also makes me think of the infinity symbol, making me think of oneness, unity. So I thought, okay, let's read the entirety, actually. It's not only verse 16, but Matthew chapter 20, verses 1 to 16, to just offer some context here. And everyone interprets things differently, right? So let's just read this first, and I'll just get into the impression that I received. All right. The parable of the workers in the vineyard. For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire men to work in his vineyard. He agreed to pay them a denarius for the day and sent them into his vineyard. About the 3rd hour he went out and saw others standing in the marketplace doing nothing. He told them, "You also go and work in my vineyard, and I will pay you whatever is right." So they went. He went out again about the 6th hour and the 9th hour and did the same thing. About the 11th hour he went out and found still others standing around. He asked them, "Why have you been standing here all day long doing nothing?" "Because no one has hired us," they answered. He said to them, "You also go and work in my vineyard." When evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his foreman, "Call the workers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last ones hired and going on to the first." The workers who were hired about the 11th hour came and each received a denarius. So when those came who were hired first, they expected to receive more. But each one of them also received a denarius. When they received it, they began to grumble against the landowner. These men who are hired last worked only 1 hour, they said, and you have made them equal to us who have borne the burden of the work and the heat of the day. But he answered one of them, Friend, I am not being unfair to you. Didn't you agree to work for a denarius? Take your pay and go. I want to give the man who was hired last the same as I gave you. Don't I have the right to do what I want with my own money, or are you envious because I am generous? So the last will be first, and the first will be last. Okay. So, how I interpreted that upon reading that, Matthew 20, verses 1 to 16. In referencing back to what I said earlier about the theme of oneness, unity. Every soul, all of creation, is valued, loved, and recognized equally by the divine. Okay? One is not deemed more worthy by doing more. Now, this also made me think about the New Earth way of living. Earning by doing less boggles the logical mind, right? The quote, working smarter, not harder, may be familiar to you. And that made me think of one of the major blockbusters. I don't know when it was released, but it entered the collective consciousness a while back. The book by Tim Ferriss, The 4-Hour Work Week. And also there were other books, subsequent books around that time. And these creators, they played a part in planting the seeds of the possibility of working smarter and not harder, of earning, making a living, so to speak, by doing less. They planted the seeds of this possibility into the collective consciousness in a more mainstream way. Okay, now that makes me think of the visionary energy, but we'll get to that. I also got the word exhume. Okay. So that made me think of digging up, unearthing, exposing, discovering what was buried or hidden. That made me think of the iceberg metaphor. Also, secrets, making me think of ancient knowledge and wisdom. And also the emergence of psychic abilities. And I mentioned earlier the emphasis on the upper chakras, including the third eye and crown. Okay. Also, the word view, V-U-E, but there are lots of different meanings, but V-U-E is also the French word of the English word view. Okay, so yes, V-U-E made me think of view, perspective, vision, visionary. And that made me think of master number 22, which is often associated with visionary qualities. And that also made me think of precognition, clairvoyance. Someone may be seeing visions or receiving visions / downloads. Also, someone may be a web developer or will be developing or inventing, creating something in tech, having to do with time, space, communication, or all of the above. Okay, I think that is it. All right. timer when I looked up? Okay, so briefly, I'll just go over just a short explanation of Master number 22. The angel number 22 is often associated with visionary qualities. It represents the ability to manifest large-scale dreams and the practical mastery to turn inspired ideas into monumental achievements that benefit humanity. This number emphasizes the importance of balancing vision with practicality, allowing individuals to create lasting structures that elevate humanity and serve the collective good. Now that makes me think of also the Emperor and the Tarot. The Emperor and the King of Wands. Okay. Let's go to the Gateway of Light activation. Any additional messages for the collective spirit? Any additional messages for the collective? What would you like the collective to know? Thank you. Ooh. That was fast. Akashic Stargate, aligned with purpose, crossroads, no wrong path. Interesting. Crossroads makes me think of the Two of Swords, but assurance or reassurance to you if you are feeling any doubts about taking the wrong path, that you may be on the wrong path. Well, there's no wrong path. You are being guided. And the first phrase here, aligned with purpose. You are aligned with your purpose, and there is no wrong path that you can ever take. Okay, so that's how organized the universe is. And we are one with the universe. Okay. Aligned with purpose. Where would I find? Oh, Akashic Stargate. Page 37. Okay. Someone maybe 37 years old. The number 10 may be significant. Makes me think of the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. A stargate is a portal that can take us through space and time. Okay, we mentioned space and time. Yes, about how someone may be a web developer or will be developing and inventing something in tech having to do with time, space, communication, or all of the above. Okay. Time is very significant. Okay. A stargate is a portal that can take us through space and time to a whole other universe. It's based on the concept of the Einstein-Rosen bridge, or what is also known as a wormhole, where a speculative structure linking different points of space-time is created. In spirituality, a stargate is less about traveling on the physical, three-dimensional level and more about making progress on the spiritual. A feature of many spiritual traditions is the idea that all of us have a stargate in our heart that connects us with the central lattice of consciousness, the divine matrix. The Buddha acknowledged we were the universe, while Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. The Akashic Stargate transports us to a space where we are given the opportunity to make a decision to accelerate the realization of our life purpose. Your message is, whenever the Akashic Stargate is presented to you, it's because you're at a critical point on your journey. You have the opportunity to move in a particular direction, and you have to make a decision. This can feel overwhelming, and you may be waiting for someone or something to make the decision for you. But you aren't here to walk a path that was set for you. You're here to walk a path that you have chosen. Let me repeat that. You aren't here to walk a path that was set for you. You're here to walk a path that you have chosen. The next phase of your journey cannot unfold until you decide which way to go. Know that whatever direction you take and whatever decision you make, you'll always be on the right path. No matter how you get there, you'll always end up in a similar space. Also know that purpose isn't about doing your duty. It's about living life and experiencing joy. Yes. That kind of touches on this earning thing, this working thing, right? Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Also know that purpose isn't about doing your duty. It's about living life and experiencing joy. Beautiful. Okay. And look at that, on the bottom of the deck was the Nine of Cups. I believe Nine of Cups, yes. Nine of Cups. What message wants to come through? This is the Light Seers Pocket Edition. And I just saw the Two of Swords. The Chariot. Okay, this is the second reading where the first card from the tarot was the Chariot. Okay. Let's keep going. Seven of Pentacles. Okay, 2 7s on the board so far. Okay, it makes me look at the aligned with purpose message and reminder, you are aligned with your purpose. You are on the right path. There is no wrong choice that you can make. 3 of Pentacles. You're being guided. Okay, and this makes me think also that if you haven't met up with members of your soul tribe already in the physical, this is on your path. 13, death and rebirth. Okay. I'm hearing that song by Celine Dion, A New Day Has Come, I believe it's called. Now that makes me think of the new earth, which we touched on. A new day has come. Okay, and look at this. Yeah. So this makes me think of the 3D matrix, the double energy. What would you like to add in regards to the double energy? 5 of Cups. Okay. Okay. That makes me think of perspective. Focus, where you're focusing your energy. This all makes sense. Look at the energies that are coming out to clarify the double energy. Just shadow energy, denser feeling energies that make us feel bound to the past. So, feelings such as fear, right? Fear and worry. This is the 8 of Swords. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. Fear, worry, disappointment. Yeah, this is all 3D matrix energies, old programming that are fading, dissolving. And I'm looking at the the rebirth card here. Bright horizon, the new earth. Higher frequencies. And these burst out together, the Knight of Wands and the Ace of Wands. And her third eye is lit up. We did mention psychic abilities, the awakening of psychic abilities. More psychic abilities. You are being guided. I think I mentioned that at least a couple of times. You're being divinely guided, intuitively guided. The moon. Yeah, this makes me think about the hidden depths. What's hidden? We touched on that energy as well. Secrets. The Fool. You may be traveling. Sacred geometry may be significant, relevant for someone. Maybe traveling to Egypt. Okay, I'm noticing the amethyst crystal that she's holding in her hand. Making me think of the crown chakra, your psychic abilities. You're growing. Awareness, consciousness, and connection to source energy. Yeah, so returning back to the reminder that there is no wrong path. Just follow your joy. Follow what makes you feel good. The Knight of Cups. We have two knights on the board. The Knight of Cups. Yeah, follow your heart, follow what you love. Indeed, the Sun. Follow what lights you up. It doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just making daily choices that may feel mundane or seem mundane, but that you find joy in, pleasure in, such as, well, maybe, yeah, just taking a walk, spending time with your pet companions, going to your favorite cafe, people watching, writing, journaling, etc. Anything else you'd like to add from the Light Seers Tarot for the collective spirit? The Page of Swords. Look at the light bulbs. So you're likely receiving guidance in a multitude of ways, not only, you know, through your crown, but she is holding a book. So maybe you're receiving ideas, seeing visions while reading books that you're interested in, books on topics that you're really interested in. And okay, we have a strong energy of love here. We saw the Knight of Cups, and now we're seeing the Page of Cups. Youthful energy here with the Fool. So tapping into your inner child, nurturing your inner child. Focusing on joy, playfulness, creativity. Okay, what would you like to say about the Page of Cups? Justice. I'm noticing the Two Cups makes me think of the Two of Cups. So you may be coming into union with your divine counterpart, a kindred spirit, a soulmate, whatever term you use. A balanced relationship. This is the Justice card. You're definitely coming into union within energetically. Maybe being more accepting, loving, compassionate to your human self. Also, connecting more strongly with your higher self. Five of Swords. And why is the Five of Swords coming out right now? It didn't come out earlier when we saw the Five of Cups and Eight of Swords. Why is it coming out now? Five of Swords, please. Did a card fall? No. What? More on the Five of Swords, please. Judgment. Yeah, that makes me just return back to what I was saying about the Justice card. Merging with your higher self, connecting in a more stronger way with your higher self, and also being kinder to your human self. That may be feeling at times quite anxious, scared of this new beginning, this new way of being. This new energy of embracing joy, lightness. There's definitely an adjustment period. So you may be feeling, yes, quite anxious, uncomfortable during this 0 point phase. But seeing the Judgment card, yeah, this is a period of rebirth. Emergence energy. Because we already saw the Moon here. Then the Fool. let's conclude. Final message for the collective, please. Well, isn't that interesting? We did read from the Bible earlier from the book of Matthew, another reference to the book of Matthew. Eyes to see, ears to hear. So I'll show you the card first, and I'll just read out what I wrote underneath. Perceiving spiritual truths and wisdom. Perceiving beyond the physical world. And we did mention clairvoyance earlier. And a focus on the crown, third eye, your upper chakras. Spiritual alertness, discernment. And this is this phrase, eyes to see, ears to hear. I believe it's a paraphrase. From Matthew chapter 13, verse 16. Isn't that interesting? Even the earlier passage, the last, okay, that was also verse 16. So the last will be first and the first will be last. That verse, or that phrase was on line, was verse 16. So maybe the number 16 may be significant. Okay, so let's read. Let's get my New International Version. I have the Seniors Devotional Bible. Okay, Matthew 13:16. Let's see. Will it even give us some context here? Okay, but well, here, so this is just a paraphrase. It's not the actual verse. Eyes to see, ears to hear. Eyes to see, yeah, okay. Clairvoyance, ears to hear, clairaudience, your psychic abilities, your spiritual abilities. Okay, I'll read Matthew chapter 13, verse 16. But blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. Okay, so that is what is in the version that I have, the New International Version. Let me say that, read that again. But blessed are your eyes because they see, and your eyes because they hear. And yes, we can take this symbolically, right? This isn't just a literal reference to your physical eyes and your physical ears. So much of what's within the Bible is metaphorical, symbolic, right? Jesus spoke in parables. And that makes me think, yeah. Not everyone is going to understand the parables. So that makes me think about timing, vibrational readiness. Our frequencies determine when we have eyes to see and ears to hear. Our frequencies determine our perception. Okay, let me just read on. This might be significant. But blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. Now moving on to verse 17. For I tell you the truth, many prophets, and we mentioned precognition. For I tell you the truth, many prophets and righteous men long to see what you see, but did not see it, and to hear what you hear, but did not hear it. Shall I read on? Listen then to what the parable of the sower means. When anyone hears the message about the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what was sown in his heart. Well, that just makes me think of the devil card here. Just denser energies, right? Lower vibrating energies. But when anyone hears a message about the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what was sown in his heart. One's true essence. This is the seed sown along the path. The one who received the seed that fell on rocky places is the man who hears the word and at once receives it with joy. But since he has no root, he lasts only a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the word, he quickly falls away. Oh, and this is verse 22, I'm starting. We mentioned master number 22. The one who received the seed that fell among the thorns is the man who hears the word, but the worries of this life and the deceitfulness of wealth choke it, making it untruthful. Okay, I would have to read that over and over again. Like, what? I guess I am not vibrationally ready at this time to receive this message. The one who received the seed that fell among the thorns is the man who hears the word, but the worries of this life, making me think of this card here. But the worries of this life and the deceitfulness of wealth choke it, making it unfruitful. Unfruitful, interesting. Unfruitful, not unfruitful. Let's go on to verse 23. But the one who received the seed that fell on good soil is the man who hears the word and understands it. He produces a crop yielding 160 or 30 times what was sown. That fell on good soil is the man who hears the word and understands it. Again, that just makes me think about vibration, right? Vibration. There is specific languaging. That can be triggering for my human. Okay, I'm not going to try to figure it out. I'm not going to spiral, entangle myself in this energy at this time, trying to figure out what that message was. Okay. Let's conclude. Thank you so much. Take care.